referees? Who have you given permission to speak into your life? I have a young man who, John called me on the phone and we were talking this week. A young man just this week, and he's dealing with something, and the problem is he doesn't have any referees. He doesn't have any referees. Nobody has the authority to come to him and say, hey, this is what you need to change. This is what you need to do. Nobody has that authority. I've been playing basketball. I don't anymore, thank God. But I stopped a few years ago. But when I used to play, I've gotten so many injuries. I've broken my right ankle. I've severely sprained my right ankle. I severely sprained my left ankle. I took an elbow to the face, or I had an injury that split my entire right nostril right down the middle. I had to get 8 stitches. And I had to get 6 stitches in my lower lip because of an elbow. The most dangerous, the most crazy injuries I've gotten playing basketball happened when there was no referee. Happened playing pickup. Didn't happen in a real game. Happened playing pickup. Happened when there were no referees around. Because if there are no referees around, there's more of a propensity for you to get hurt. And I did, over and over. And if nobody's refereeing your life, if you don't have anybody who's making calls, you will actually listen to the call. See, some of you have people that will tell you what's going on, but you don't listen to them. They don't have the authority. They make a call and you keep playing as if the call was never made. That's not a referee. Some of you are given authority to say, hey, that's not right. Be a better husband. Sure, your family would do this or that. You've given them that authority. See, this is not as much as a problem for women, actually, as it is for men. The young man, I spoke to him on the phone, and as I began to talk to him, he began to bend a little bit. And it's like, okay, but your wife was making that call for the last few months. Don't give me more authority than her. Men, let your wife make calls. Stop robbing her of authority. Listen to her. You're not less of a man if you allow her to make calls. When you rob every time your wife tells you something that you should do, when she sees it from another angle and says, hey, you should do this, or why don't you look at this a certain way, every time you ignore her voice, every time you ignore her voice, you weaken it. You weaken her ability to speak into your life. And when we not only talk to the husband, but we talk to the wife. And when we talk to the wife said, I can't talk to him. She said, I can't tell him. She said, when he gets a certain way, she said, I just get out of the way. I just get out of the way. She was afraid to tell him the truth. And if your wife is walking on eggshells, if your wife can't even come to you and speak into her life because you've muted her voice, she's not your wife. That's not a marriage, it's a dictatorship. Empower her. Let her speak into your life. Let her make some calls. I've been married 5 years ago. 2 days ago was 5 years I've been married. The 23rd, 5 years. I remember when I first got married, if me and Tessa disagreed, she was wrong. Every time, consistently. And if she's just stupid, she was just stupid, I thought. Which I'm like, if that's the case, God just didn't know how to pick me a good mate. But no, that wasn't the case. I was stupid for not letting her speak into my life. And I wouldn't humble again. You're not less of a man because you allow her to do so. And if you have muted your wife's voice in your life, you're wrong. You're wrong. And you need to go get that remote and unmute her voice in your life. Let her speak into you. You need to have a Nehemiah. That's why I mentioned John Reeves, my spiritual father. I mentioned him on a regular basis. That's why I mentioned another guy you've never met, but you will hear by the summer because he's going to be on the stage and speak for us at some point. A guy named Pete Eisenberg, another spiritual father of mine. Joe, another person who holds me accountable. I let speak into my life and make calls. Just this week, Joe called me and said, hey, when you get your message for Sunday, you mind calling me and running it by me? I said, sure. Sure, I called him a couple days later and told him, hey, this is where I'm going. What you think about it? He said, I think that sounds good. And then I went with it. He has the power to speak. He is a referee in my life. He knows what's going on in my marriage, and he knows what's going on with me. He doesn't just have the ability to see what's going on, but the authority to speak into it. And I gave him that. And that's what we have to do. We all need Nehemiahs. Number one, the people fell away. We have to guard against that. Meditate on the word day and night. We need to be Nehemiah to someone. I can't tell you how bad we need help on Wednesdays. If you haven't been down there yet, you need to be. Please come down there and help us. Those kids need it. Leave the comfort of your palace and go help someone who doesn't know the King like you do. Those kids need it. So many of them, the vast majority of them, at least that I've gotten to know and speak to, don't even have a father in their lives. Mama's raising them. And mama is so busy because she's working 1, 2, 3 jobs, and she don't even have time to speak into them. Come down there and love on them and be Nehemiah for them. They need it. And last but not least, have a Nehemiah. We all need that. Let's pray. Thank you for all